Welcome to another Cardano update. Like always, make sure to check out our YouTube memberships and our Patreon if you want access to all of our charts and if you want access to our daily Discord updates for only like $5 a month. Also, check out the third wave of the third wave merchandise that we launched a couple of days ago. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. So right now we are still in a big 1-2-1-2 setup, and well, I cannot confirm that the low is in right now because we don't really have 5 waves up. We don't really have anything, to be honest. This could easily turn into a much bigger A, B, C structure, and if it does, the next support level would be the 0.618 support level of the first wave right here, and that is at 64.9 cents. Now, if we do not hold above that, then the next target would be the 0.786, which is at 62.4 cents. Now, of course, if we get above the first wave high, which, it's gonna be difficult to do because that's above the bull market support band. Well, not above the bull market support band, but above the green line of the bull market support band. But if we get above that high, then the low will most likely already be in, and it will mean that we are most likely going for a third wave. Now, the target for the third wave of this 1-2 setup right here, it's the 1.618 extension of the first wave, and that's at 85.8 cents. That's also above the bull market support band and the 200-day moving average. So obviously there's going to be resistance in this area, but if we actually manage to get back above it, that's gonna be very, very good, because if we get above the bull market support band and we stay there and we even go up higher than that, then that could give us a cross on the bull market support band, and as you know from the past, that's actually very, very bullish. I will talk about that as well, but first, what we need to do right now is still 4 and 5 waves up. Of these 5 waves that we need to go up, right now we only have this 1-2 setup and the first 1-2 setup of the third wave. Now, the target for that third wave is still the 200% extension of this 1-2 setup, and that's at 87.1 cents. Now, keep in mind, we're probably going higher than that just because the target for this third wave is already at 85 cents. So once we get this right here, I will give you a target for the fifth wave of the third wave, and that's probably gonna be around, let's see, about 90 cents, maybe 95 cents, maybe even at the 2.272 extension right here. But yeah, I will give you a target for that. Now, after we complete these 5 waves, that will not confirm that the low is in, it will only confirm that the third wave is in, meaning that we still need a fourth wave move down, which it's gonna be an ABC structure. It should not really take too long, it should probably take as long as the second wave right here. And well, yeah, it's gonna take like a couple of days at most, and after that we need a fifth wave move up. I still think that the fifth wave move up will most likely put us at $1.14 again, just to test the 0.618 resistance level of the previous all-time high. Now, of course, we don't really have to do that, and if we don't get to these levels, it's gonna be okay. Right now, like I said, what we need to do is 4 and 5 waves up, and it doesn't really matter if we get even above the B wave high. As long as we have 5 waves up, it's gonna be very, very bullish. Now, keep in mind, after we get these 5 waves, we're still gonna need an A, B, C down to form the second wave, and after that we could finally start the big wave to the upside that everybody has been waiting for, and that is the third wave of the third wave of the third wave. And again, check out the merchandise in case you have not, seen it already. And well, yeah, the third wave of the third wave of the third wave, it's obviously gonna be the most bullish wave. Now, I am aware of the fact that I already said the word wave a lot on this video, but don't worry, I'm gonna say it even more because I still need to explain what's going on here. So on the daily chart, we are still in a much bigger 1-2 setup, and right now we are trying to start the third wave of the third wave. Like I said, we are working on the first 1-2 setup of the third wave, and once the third wave of the third wave of the third wave starts, that's gonna be, the most, bullish move. It's gonna be a move that looks like this over here. As you can see it here in the third wave, we went from 12 cents all the way up to about $1.50. So obviously it's gonna be bullish, and well, that's what we are waiting for right now. We are also waiting to get above the 0.618 resistance level. Here we got rejected a bunch of times in the past. We got rejected once, twice, thrice. We got rejected about 4 times in total, and yeah, that's what we need to get above. Now, of course, we still need to get above the trend line right here, and the trend line, it's exactly at the 1.618 extension of the main 1-2 setup, which leads me to believe that there's going to be resistance here. However, I do not think that the third wave, the main third wave, will finish here. just because it would be extremely underwhelming. And I mean, a structure that looks like this, it's not really, typical for Cardano to have a structure that looks this bad. So I don't think this is gonna happen. I think the third wave will go way higher. Now, the main target for the third wave of the third wave is the 1.618 of this much bigger 1-2 setup here, which is the 1-2 setup of the main third wave, and that's at $3.50. That's my target for the third wave of the third wave, and then after that we should get a fourth wave move down and a fifth wave move up, and that should put us at all-time highs in the main third wave before we get a big drop, probably during the summer, and maybe at the end of the year we still get a new all-time high, and that could actually put us at like $8. That's my prediction, that has always been my prediction, and that's all you need to know about the wave count. Now, something else that you need to know right now is that, like I said, we are waiting for a cross on the bull market support band, and if you have been subscribed to this channel for longer than a couple of weeks, you should probably know that a cross on the bull market support band is extremely bullish. I mean, even here, last year when I was making videos in, June and July and August, I told you that, when we were going down, we needed a cross on the bull market support band to be able to confirm that, maybe that the low is in, and also that Cardano is about to start going up. And of course, during this time, nobody was really believing my ideas because, Cardano was still down, from like 80 cents all the way down to like 27 cents. So of course, everybody was thinking that I was full of, shit. But it is what it is, and well, people who actually believed in what I said actually got rewarded. Of course, I never give you financial advice on this channel, but right now we're just waiting for the exact same thing again, and I think it's gonna play out the exact same. So we wait for a cross, and then we get a cross, and then we just do nothing for a couple of days like we did over here. Everybody starts talking crap, and then when everybody has started to give up, that's when Cardano does this, and that's when the third wave of the third wave starts. So I still think that this is gonna happen. Now, the market right now is waiting for the Fed meeting. I think the Fed meeting is in about, let's see, 4 days or so. So people are still waiting for that. Obviously, the decision that they make, it's going to be very, very important, and it's pretty much going to tell us what's going to happen in the next couple of months. If QT does not stop and if QE does not, start, then it could be very bad for the altcoins, and Bitcoin dominance could theoretically continue going higher and higher until we actually start, QE. Now, please do not forget, and many people seem to forget about this, but in the 2017 cycle, when Bitcoin dominance started breaking down, we were still in QT the entire time. So Bitcoin dominance dropping down, it would already need to be in QE for something like this. We have seen it happen before. It dropped when we were in QT, so theoretically we still could start doing the exact same thing again, and I think we will, but only after we get to 66% dominance. And right now we are not really that far away from it. We could literally get there today if we wanted to, and honestly, if Bitcoin gets a drop right now and Ethereum just goes a bit lower, that could get us to 66%, and then after Bitcoin, is done with the drop, maybe we get to like the 200-day moving average to test it like we have always done in the previous corrections. For example, right here, we tested the 200-day moving average and the bull market support band a bunch of times. After getting above the bull market support band, as you can see, we went down here, then we went up again, then we all went down again, and then went up again and went down again. So we're not gonna go up in a straight line. There's obviously going to be resistance on the way, and yeah, it's the exact same thing as this right here. So we're just waiting to test the bull market support band, and once we do, maybe we're gonna get below it. This is gonna be some kind of fake out. This would be the perfect time for Ethereum to get another low or some kind of double bottom here. And once that happens, Ethereum will also get oversold on the weekly RSI. As you can see, we have not been able to get above the moving average on the weekly RSI right here. So yeah, I think we're gonna get rejected soon, and I think that's gonna put us in the oversold territory. Now, please not count me on that. And if Ethereum somehow breaks above $2,100, that is gonna break, above the downtrend right here, and that's obviously gonna be good. But until that happens, I'm still gonna keep this theory, and I still think that another low is possible. especially with Bitcoin dominance not being at 66% and especially with Ethereum still not being oversold on the weekly chart. So I think it's gonna happen. Maybe it's not gonna happen. It all depends on what happens in the in the Fed meeting in the next couple of days. So we're waiting for that. Now, Bitcoin, I mean, it's still in a very good looking cycle, and I talked about my Bitcoin theory a couple of days ago. I think it was in the video called something about Cardano at $8. So please watch that video, because that video is actually really good, and you need to understand what's happening in case you want to understand, what could happen with Cardano. And well, Bitcoin is still waiting to go up. It's already above the bull market support band, which is very bullish. Now we're just waiting for a move like this. And I mean, if you can remember what happened the last time Bitcoin got above the bull market support band, as you can see, during this time, after we finally broke above the bull market support band and when we started getting to all-time highs, this was actually November. Now, if you look at what we did in November, Bitcoin dominance actually started breaking down, even though Bitcoin was getting to all-time highs. So this is when we actually had that 300% move on the Cardano chart, and this is when Ethereum was also going up, and it was, doing way better than Bitcoin. And yeah, Bitcoin dominance, it was dropping during that time. So right now we're pretty much waiting for the exact same thing to happen again. We're waiting for Bitcoin to break its previous all-time highs, and once that happens, and once we get above $110,000, then I think Ethereum is going to start outperforming Bitcoin. And when Ethereum starts outperforming Bitcoin, that's when the altcoins go crazy. So I think we're just in the exact same position that we were in right here, and we're just waiting for Bitcoin to finally do something. And when it does something, trust me, and of course don't take this as financial advice, but I think if we get to $140,000 by the second week of June, that could easily give us a very good altcoin season, especially with Ethereum being almost oversold on the weekly. And well, this could be a good starting point. We could get a big jump, and I think Ethereum by the end of the year will still be at all-time highs and above the 2021 all-time highs, probably around $7,000 or $8,000 if you were to ask me. And if that happens, Cardano will obviously do extremely good as well. So that's all you need to know right now. We're still waiting for the Fed meeting, like I said, and I hope you enjoyed. If you did, make sure to check out our YouTube memberships and our Patreon if you want access to all of our charts and if you want access to our daily Discord updates. Also check out the new third wave of the third wave merchandise. Like, subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.